Hi guys, this is Prajwal and I'm the Vice President of Product for InMobi Exchange.
And Prajwal, when you're starting an in-app advertising campaign, how do you need to be thinking about data management and choosing a data management platform?
Hey man, yeah, we'll get to the details of that. I think it's important for us to zoom out and kind of understand all the use cases that are required for any advertiser or any marketer who is looking to advertise in-app. So I just wanted to share the screen, and if you're looking at the screen currently, just put down a few use cases in which data is actually used in a bunch of advertising use cases. And this is how any advertiser will utilize their first party data. And we'll go into each one of these. There might be some use cases beyond this, but 90% of their use cases will be sorted with the four things that I mentioned here. First primary use case when it comes to data is about targeting. We've heard a lot about targeting, and to explain a bit more, um, whenever your app is being advertised or marketed, um, you will have to activate some of your audiences that are required to acquire users that you want to. So there are multiple examples of this. Consider you being a performance marketer. What I mean by performance marketer is you are actually looking at certain KPIs, which is cost per install or cost per page view, or if you're app only, you'll be looking at cost per event that has happened within an app after it's installed. Now, for any partner to achieve some of these goals, they need to perfect their targeting methodologies. And one way in which any vendor or any advertising partner can do this is utilize your own data for multiple use cases. When I talk about use cases here, it's about how do I not target users that you already have, which is called as negative targeting, which is what I was mentioning here. And the second use case, of course, is positive targeting, in which case we will be looking at how to bring more users of a certain kind. So if you're interested in acquiring users of one kind, you can share that user data with the advertising platform and acquire users who are similar to that particular kind that you're looking at, which is called as positive targeting. Now, this is specific to app install advertising use case, but let's say you're a brand marketer and you're advertising in app. You need some of your data to also target. Like this can be, take an example of a big brand like CVS or Walmart or Walgreens. They have a ton of first party data that is sitting within themselves. And they want this data to be advertised, or they want to advertise for these certain kind of users. Now, what they do is use platforms that we'll come to later on data management, but they use this data to make sure that they're enabling advertising to that particular segment of users that they want to. So that's like the primary use case in advertising, right? And second, of course, is around measurement and also looking at analytics. There are analytics that does not primarily require user data, but when you talk about measurement on how your campaign is performing, it's very important that you do have some visibility and you do share some of the data that you already have. Think of an example of you running a campaign and eventually trying to find out what happened of that campaign. And that campaign can be as simple as installing your apps on devices, or it can be a campaign which drives footfall to your store. And for you to drive footfall to your store, you need to be able to attribute and measure what has happened in the store to the campaign that was activated, which definitely requires some data from your side and working with a bunch of measurement partners to make this happen. Now, the third use case is kind of linked to the targeting use case, which is around segmenting your own user base. So let's say you have 1 million users. There is a platform that is required for you to segment this user base into, these are my users who are really highly active. These are my dormant users. These are my users which I want to reactivate. And once you have that kind of segmentation done, you need a way to activate the same. When I say activation, how do you ship that audiences to a platform which can actually run media on. Yeah, this is linked to targeting, but there are different tools which are used to achieve this particular use case, which is around segmentation and activation. And fourth is generally a different kind of a business model itself is to use your data to monetize, not necessarily in terms of advertising per se, but how can you use the data to make more money? If you're an app developer, can I use the data that I have secured to monetize in a secure and a privacy compliant way, of course. But yeah, these are kind of the use cases in which data can be used when it comes to advertising.